All right. So Wendy and I have been talking a little bit before we started recording. What I want to go over today briefly is the SOAR card that, when you were onboarding, Michael sent you a link to this. All of our Phoenix team members get this link. If you'd like to have a link to it, let me know. If you haven't got it or if you can't find it, let me know. But this is the card that we use for reporting data. So, Wendy, have you been using the SOAR card yet?
I have. I actually this month, I think July I did the full entire month. So yes.
Okay, good. I know it takes a bit of getting used to and getting used to putting in information. Because the other side of it is reporting to Michael on Monday of each week how you did the week before. Um,
Yes.
and honestly, that tends to be my Michael walk by my office and say, "Sore card, working on it." Um, there are the idea behind this we want it to work for you, what you want to record. So you've got the blank sore card, the level one, and then to be able to make each month, it's really easy because I just go in and just highlight the whole screen and copy it, and then I can add a sheet down here, and I'm going to come over here and put it after August. I'm going to call this one, rename it as September. And then once I click on the screen and hit paste, whoop, did it wrong. Hold on. Undo, click up here and paste. There we go. Now I've got the whole thing again. If you look at mine for July, it probably looks it. Mine has been evolving. Um, when I first started, I was trying to every time I made a connection, I was putting the number one in there. I'm like, this is getting really tedious, especially when I got involved with doing more recruiting work and was sending out 10 or 15 or 20 emails a day or text messages a day. So you can see by June, I was just keeping track on how many I'd done and just put the total number in there because it adds it up. It adds it up. What I realized is I wasn't keeping track of what kind of contacts I was making. So by July, I started putting in if it was recruiting and then recruiting, some different recruiting actions I'm taking. And then I realized, well, I should probably be keeping track of other things as well. So the nice thing is I can either track it across the top, or if you want to move down here, you can put the names of different groups down here as well. And then I just put the number in, so I've got it. So, for example, Chamber of Commerce, I've been attending the Murray Chamber of Commerce Thursday luncheons. It's a meet and greet activity. And that number two means I met two more business people at the meet and greet. And then I went down here. Oh, that reminds me. If I met two there, should have updated that. And because that should be three new names in the database. Two of them were from Chamber of Commerce. So you're going to notice my numbers suddenly went up really high on connections because I'm doing a lot of follow-up recruiting work, and so I decided to try to keep track of what they each are. And you can do that any way you want to. You can label this if you want to. You can leave it blank. You can label it on the side and use the lower rows. What kind of contacting are you doing right now, Wendy?
Okay, I got to be honest. I have just been printing the SOAR card off and doing it manually and then putting it into Michael's direct messaging.
Great.
So I'm not sure I know how to do it online. So I'm going to have to play with that.
Here's
But
the here. Well, and here's the whole thing. The idea behind the template is it's just that. It's for you to use it the way you want to. You're not the only one who prefers doing it by hand.
okay.
So if you printed it out and you're writing down the numbers every day and then you send Michael the numbers, that's what works for you. This is not intended to be everybody's using it exactly the same way.
Okay, but it's good to know this so I can possibly do it that way and break
Uh,
out my contacts because I've just been lumping them all together and then writing them down on a separate sheet of who they were. So,
Yep. Yep. And you can see when I started initially, I was doing like, just writing them down and then realized I had no clue who, oh, wow, 40 that day. Oh, that was recruiting, but who? So
yeah,
I've even had it evolve and change with what I do with it so that
okay.
it makes, so that I can track who I'm reaching out to and why. Like this one right here, you see P-tax,
Hmm.
column D right here. Um, I started sending out text messages to all of my closed clients about property tax notices have gone out. Now's a great time to review your long-term real estate plans and your home value. And where a lot of them are veterans, if they're veterans, I even put in there and your eligibility for abatement.
Nice. Okay.
And now I'm getting appointments now with those prior clients. I've got two tomorrow. One's a phone call, one's an in-person. Um, and following up with them where I've had text conversations where I've followed up with some. I had a phone conversation with one a couple days ago who said, "Oh yeah, by the way, I've got this rental property I inherited that we're thinking of selling." So
Nice.
it's just a way for me to keep tabs on how I met them. But if you like doing it by hand, it's probably easier to use the side here to have space to write down, what type of contact they were.
Exactly. Yeah, that would be good.
And CRM database, this is who we've added to the database. How many new people you've added in.
Okay.
Okay. The higher power or mindset, and that's, by the way, that's today's Thursday training with Craig is the higher power and mindset training. This is just how many days a week you spend, take some time for yourself, centering yourself and focusing on something besides just, real estate. What it is you do to get yourself centered physically and emotionally um, and ready to go.
Yeah, I love that.
And the study time, of course, is anything you study.
Okay,
Um,
thanks for clarifying that.
that does not have to be real estate related. In fact, I mean, how much stuff do you read that's specific to real estate and business?
A lot, but
Okay.
it's nice to have the other as well.
How much? Yeah, I was gonna say, how much do you read? Now, contrast that with how much you're reading that's not real estate related.
Hmm, probably 40% for me.
Okay. But you're becoming you're more of a rounded person. Yeah, we need to know what's going on in real estate, but if that's all you can talk about, sometimes my brain needs a break.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, what do you read? Not business related. What do you like to read just because you want to or need to read something or want to read?
Okay. Well, my number one is the Bible, I'll be honest. And then
Right?
from there, it's uh, a lot of, I mean, probably self-motivation, but maybe not specifically tied to business, but just areas that I need to grow in.
Yep.
And so,
Okay.
and a novel here and there.
Okay. Yeah. Like every night, I try to read some form of scripture. Um, and then, like you said, I'll read. I'll bounce from. I just finished Lois Lowry's Giver series to now I'm reading the most comprehensive history of the development and use and implementation of the Liberty ships during World War II. And I
Wow.
look over, yeah, my wife's like, that looks boring. It is boring. And she's over there reading Anne Rule true crime novels. And next
Yeah.
thing you know, she's got like Susan Ivanovich, some kind of trashy novel that I'll pay $1 for, but that's about all it's worth. But
Yeah.
that's how she lets her mind go. So it's good to have that.
Yep. We all
Um,
have to.
and then your monthly goals, how many appointments you've been able to set and make. Here's my downfall. Handwritten notes, 5. Yeah. Oh, I think if we go back, what was it, June? Nope. July. Nope, not even then. Holy crap. When was it I did that? Oh, in May, I sent a whole bunch of like sent a ton of them out all at once. Can't even remember why. And I'm like, maybe that counts for like the next 9 months.
There you go. Uh,
And then of course, client events is we report that quarterly.
yes.
How often do you send out handwritten notes?
Uh, I'm pretty good at meeting what is on the SOAR card because I have a CRM with my Buffini and I'm required to do 4 a day. I don't always meet 4 a day, but
Okay.
I, so it helps me improve on the number here,
But
if that makes sense.
it's built into your daily schedule.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And, and I've built it more into like my quarterly schedule. Um, I know coming up we're going to have, I usually do starting in early November, I do thank you cards to everybody on my I want to send to, and I've done Christmas cards every year for years. I hit the dollar store and buy the cheapest, ugliest ones I can, but it takes me about a month to get through all of them because my handwriting sucks.
Yeah, I get that.
My wife teases me that when I was teaching school that me teaching other kids cursive was kind of sick irony.
There you go.
But when I
Yeah.
slow down or writing on a whiteboard is different than, left-handed and trying to fit on this little bitty thank you card. But
Yeah.
just, where you've got it built into your system, you've got that constant reminder, and that's good because it's easy to overlook.
Yes.
Okay. But again, we said before, use this the way that makes sense for you. If printing it makes sense for you, keep doing that. Early versions of this, I printed that the deliberate growth journal we
Brennan
have,
is doing.
that Brennan's doing. Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
printed I printed that out and stuck it on the clipboard right by my computer. That one I have to write, or I won't get it done.
Exactly. I have that one in writing as well.
But this you'll see. I've got a post-it note next to my desk, and I'll just keep track of what I'm doing at the time, and then just stick the numbers in there afterward
Nice.
because that works.
Okay. That
Okay.
clarified some things for me on that. So thank you.
All right. All right. That's about all we need to cover. Craig's going to be in here in about 10 minutes and we'll go and he'll be doing his training. So like I said, once I get this one, I'll be able to put on the YouTube channel. So I'll send the link out to everybody once it's done.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay. Thanks,
Thank
Wendy.
you. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.